Hello and welcome back. In this video, we will discuss your next job. Why have you selected this job? And also, have you selected a company and why have you selected that company? So let's talk about your next job. So that job that you're seeking, that you're doing all of this work, that you're being able to look at the job description, you're looking at someone who's serving this capacity, and so you narrowed it down to maybe 3 to 5 jobs that you're seeking. And so why have you picked this job? Have you analyzed, does it properly or naturally fit with your strengths? Remember in previous video, we talked about doing a SWOT analysis. So by now you should understand your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats, and concerning yourself in relation to you pursuing a job or a career. And so by you selecting this job, as I said, does it naturally fit your strengths? Does it coincide with what you're good at? And is there opportunity for advancement? Maybe it's not so strong on fitting your strengths, but it's a step to lead to that next job. And so we want to analyze why you picked this job. It's going to help you in the interview process to be able to disseminate and articulate to the person who's interviewing you exactly why you picked that job. Next, let's look at why have you selected this company? So if you narrowed it down to a handful of companies and those are the ones that you're going to apply to, why have you picked it? The things you need to look at is also, do I want an environment such as Google, where it's open and it's flowing and there have intrinsic and extrinsic value? I can bring my children to work and it's part of the culture. Or do you fit well with more of like a blue chip company, such as IBM, that's more traditional, that's rooted in a lot of old traditions that hold true? And so after you figure out why you selected this company, we want to start to do some research. There are avenues such as the internet where you can pull up all of the history about a company, what it's done in the past, what it's currently doing. Maybe you want to interview someone who worked for that company or who have recently retired from that company. And part of your research, not just looking at the history and the culture and environment of a company, you want to be able to discern where you can put your strength to work at in that company. Is there any opportunity where this company can improve? And in that gap, does your strength fit well? So for instance, in my previous example, if I utilize myself as a plant manager, maybe I have found a company such as a Ford Motor Company, and maybe this particular company operational costs are higher than the industry standard. So if I have the strengths of being able to go in and solve problems and be able to put in processes to help reduce the cost of operations, I then can say, well, I've done my history, and what I've noticed through my research is that your operational costs are a little bit higher than the industry standard. And I have some ideals and processes that have worked in the past that will help reduce those costs. And so now what you're doing is you're showing this company where your strengths bring value to the company. So it's more or less the company needs you to be able to form this capacity. And that's how you stick out amongst all the other candidates that are applying for this job. You're meeting a company's need and you're meeting it immediately. So what have we learned? We learned the importance of being able to know emphatically why I have selected this particular job. This is the job that I want to go into. I have researched the job description. I have researched individuals who are already serving this capacity. It naturally fits into my strengths, and I see a great opportunity for me to excel at this particular job. Also, we've learned about the importance of selecting the proper company that coincide with your strengths. I want to be with a company that empowers me, that gives me freedom for creativity. I work best in that type of company. Where someone else might work best in a company that is a little bit more traditional, a little bit more strategic in how they give directions. And so after I've done that work, we also learned how to be able to research a company and figure out where can I go in and put my best use of my strengths to work to improve the company, which is also going to help me in my performance as I try to continue to excel to the next level. Thank you. In our next video, we'll be talking about competency mapping and whether or not you're ready based upon that mapping of your competency.